you were on the road with Norm, and a lot of us, when Norm passed, were shocked. And I kept thinking, oh, I must have been the only person that didn't know. And people all thought, well, Conan, you knew Norm, and he does his classic appearances on your show, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, I know. We were desperately trying to get him back. I desperately wanted Norm on my last episode. We were trying to get him and not getting an answer back. And I thought, well, he just doesn't want to come. And I was bummed about it, but thought he's probably got other things to do. That's too bad. Get his all-time great guest. And then he dies. And I just thought, well, I didn't know, but everyone else must have known. And then Jim Downey called me and said, you know, more or less, Conan, fuck you for not telling me about Norm. And I said, Jim, I didn't know. And Jim Downey said,
I would think Downey might know.
No, Jim didn't know. Yeah. Did you know?
I did not know.
And you were touring with him.
Well, I'd done some gigs with him, and then before COVID, me, him, and Dennis Miller was our last one together. But great, super fun, obviously. And then, but you know, we would talk, and it was more about coming over for dinner. Same thing, where he didn't tell me because he'd go, no, I can't. And then I go, well, it's just me and you sitting 10 feet apart, but something to do. And he's like, yeah, okay, for sure. And then that night I go, where are you? He goes, David, it's COVID. And I go, what is it? So you're not coming? We're not supposed to leave the house. I go, I know, but we've talked about this. Like, you're allowed to go places. And then, oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's do it next week then. And then he just did that routine. And then until it was too late, but I didn't know. So I don't know who knew. I think Gervitz knew, and maybe
I think Gervitz and Lori Joe. Yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I think two things about it, and they're diametrically opposed. One is I wish I had known, because I would have told him what he meant to me.
Yeah.
And there's that feeling why I wish I had known. And so initially I was mad that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side, which is great respect for him wanting to keep it private.
Yeah.
And him not wanting people to treat him any differently because he was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have both feelings at the same time.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like it was just so overwhelmingly horrible that I just like. Then later it took me how it affected me, where like I was mad at him.
Yeah.
But by the way, just not to lighten up the feel here, because I know it's getting sad. But when we were at the memorial or whatever that special was
for Norm,
yeah, where we were watching the special. Remember that we watched his special. That's why the cameras are there.
That's a separate. That was a thing.
Wasn't that after the memorial? You're
talking about two different things. No, there was a kind of a eulogy for Norm that I sort of spoke at
again
and brought people up, and then there was a separate thing where Norm had made. He was planning to do it was fascinating. He was planning to do an hour, and he had an hour together, or 50 minutes, and he really had it in his mind, and he knew, I believe, and Lori Joe would know better, I don't want to speak for her, but I think he was planning to go into the hospital for what he thought was going to be
something routine maintenance.
Routine maintenance treatment for his condition. Yeah. So what he did was he said, before I go into the hospital, I want to record. So he recorded using similar technology.
Amateur way, like
literally just a camera there. I mean, we're doing here is far more sophisticated. And he did from memory his whole 50 minutes. And it was really funny and great. He goes into the hospital and he dies. And then Lori Joe found the tape.
Yeah.
And they thought, to round out the special or to give it something else, let's have you, me, Sandler, Chappelle, Letterman. Who else was there? It was
one more. Molly?
Molly was there. Molly Shannon.
Maybe
a bunch
that was it.
Might have been it. It was, and had us watch it. We hadn't seen it. Watch it in real time.
That part was a little weird because
and then
cameras filming us.
Yes, and then talk about it right afterwards. And that part, I mean, I think it came out really well, but I remembered it was very powerful to be in a room and have everyone else leave and shut the doors and then suddenly Norm was there.
Yeah.
And he's being hilarious and we're laughing and loving it. And then it's over. And then I think we just started talking about it. Got a little
teary-eyed at parts though, because you're just watching him going and then you start drifting your mind going, okay, it's over. This is right before. And then we talk and then it's funny because we're all talking. And then also we're like, just a weird scene.
Yeah.
Will that ever be released, do you think?
It was.
I think
and
it
won an
was.
Emmy.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was
Do you have
released.
Netflix?
I think it's on Netflix.
It's like,
oh, your mistakes get cut out. That's nice. Yes, it won a,
Can you edit out me laughing at 9/11?
No?
Okay.
Because we never forget.
Called Nothing Special.
We never forget who thinks
called
it's
Nothing
funny
Special.
stuff.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
called Nothing Special and it won an Emmy.
Was it called Nothing Special?
What's that?
Was it called Nothing Special?
Yeah.
Norm
Is this the
MacDonald,
thing that
Nothing.
you guys are watching is aired? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
The
whole
his material.
No. Just so we're
Has
clear.
he been listening?
This is his first podcast.
Is he new?
He won a contest.
Is he a contest he gets to
he's
sit
a contest winner. He got to fly in, and we didn't. He told him not to talk. And
He
then
loves
he's
that
not
I make fun
that
of him.
microphone isn't even real.
Yeah.
No, it was the special was. You see, it plays Norm's special, and then you see our reaction to it.
Okay.
So that's the whole. So you see both.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't be
Gotcha.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, be sorry.
And that's humanity. You should feel terrible
Yeah.
about your
Okay.
crimes.
We should edit that out.
You know,
We'll
at
edit all that
the
out.
memorial, the first one with the dolly shots, whatever that one was,
Yeah.
that you were falling everywhere.
Where I did, when people die, I'm mourning them, I tend to do a tumbling act.
Yeah, you
for
were
a little
just
bit, just
getting,
to sort of loosen
you
up
were
the crowd.
Also, by the way, I think it was like 4 inches, and the next one was like 9 inches because everybody, their toe hit that fucking thing. I'm still mad about that step. But I left in between that, and then there was like a part 2, or maybe it was I'm confusing him, but I had to come back.
Yeah.
So I had or I just left during it because it was getting too sad. So I ran out. This is when I went to McDonald's, and in the Amazon special, I talk about that exact thing. I went to McDonald's in my suit and was in line, and the crazy guy comes out of the bushes and takes off shirts, starts smacking
Yes.
the guy ordering.
Yep.
So I go, let's back up, but let's park. I want to watch. So I went in, and that whole thing takes place from the Norm MacDonald thing.
I didn't really. Okay, so that happened from the Norm thing.
That's a real story, and it was really happening. And I did get scared when he came in because I thought we were going to get in a fight.
You, first of all, I want it noted that someone you were very close to, a colleague and a cherished person, passed away, and you were present at the memorial, but walked out halfway through to go to McDonald's.
But
then something funny happened, which you could use in your special
No,
Dandelion.
because
So
I had
guess
already
we got
done
that
my
all set.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did your set, so then you're out of there. I scored, and now it's time for some chicken McNuggets.
Oh,
Maybe I'll get some. You know,
I try to sound real, and it's too many comics there, and I'm trying to sound like say nice stories about Norm, and everyone's just looking for punchline. It's such a weird scene because it's all comedians, and you're just like, I'm just going to leave here, and everyone's going to be like, who did well? You know what I mean? It's like, that's everything.
It is. Okay, let's talk about this. This is a real phenomenon.
Yes.
Where a funny person dies.
Yes.
Who are their friends? Other funny,
Yes.
professionally funny people. We get together when people pass on, when they die, and there's a gathering, people speak, but you've got a room full of people who are competitive about getting up and being funny. And it's a strange phenomenon. These things are weird because you think, nope, it's not about that. But there's some part of you that wants to do well.
And there's some nerves and some awkwardness. And I think it started, I went to Gary Shandling's funeral, and then everyone was like, Bill Maher did great.
Yeah.
And I kept going.
God.
And then everyone was like,
can I say something? Maher used props. And that, he had a lot of balloons. He was doing balloon work.
Oh,
he was? I don't remember that.
I
he
remember
had
it
some good
clearly.
stuff.
And he had a whole trunk like Gallagher or Gallagher 2.
That was being filmed too.
Yeah.
I think Apatow filmed
Yeah, they
it.
had to, yeah.
Has
Did
that
they
been
film it
released?
for something, for a documentary?
Oh, I thought Gallagher was. Sorry,
What's
I got
that?
confused. I thought.
So
Gallagher,
you guys are here to help. Is
Yeah,
that
I
the
know.
idea?
We're.
She's throwing confusion.
I am.
You should do Gallagher 3. Do you know what Gallagher 2 is?
Gallagher 2 is his brother.
Yeah, and he does Gallagher's act.
Right, but I think have they both passed on to their reward? I think Gallagher won.
Well, according to this podcast, I'm sure they did, because everyone's dying so far that we talk
I know.
about.
You guys are talking a
well,
lot
I'm
of
sorry,
it's
but
a lot of death.
I'm sorry, we're jinxing everyone.
I
we
know.
are two survivors
Yeah.
here. You know,
We're
Sona,
like
you
the
and
two people
Gorley are
that-
young people. You don't know what it's like. We have been through the shit. We're like guys that were in war together.
We're like in the Titanic.
No.
We're
Yeah.
just talking about
We're
it.
on
Yeah.
SNL together. I don't think that's.
I know.
It's a
Or
lot
quite
like the
as bad.
Titanic
Is it?
SNL.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
SNL. God, we talk about SNL forever. It's so embarrassing, but it is something to talk about. Right?
He said doodling. Hey, if you're bored, just let me
No,
know.
I'm
I
not.
think this is, I actually
No,
love
I
talking
like
about
it.
this stuff and it's meaningful to me.
No,
and for you
because
to,
we were both there.
and if you want to take a break and go to McDonald's, go ahead and I'll just keep talking. You can get yourself the McGriddle, whatever it's called.
Weekend Update with NORM MACDONALD.
Thank you. I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel.
In late June 2020, Norm MacDonald, the stand-up comedian best known for his years manning the Weekend Update desk for SNL, called his longtime producing partner and next-door neighbor, Lori Jo Hoekstra, and blurted, "Lojo, I want to shoot it tonight." The two had worked together for more than 2 decades, and there was a comfortable shorthand between them, so Lori knew exactly what he was talking about, responding simply, "Oh boy," before getting to work on preparations to shoot a comedy special for Netflix. This was no small feat. After all, this was the height of the global COVID lockdown, and the entertainment industry was still trying to figure out just how to function and produce content in a work-from-home world. The notion of shooting a comedy special in a club or theater in front of an audience was unthinkable at the time, and it was months before outdoor events and so-called bubbles to manage the risks of live events became more commonplace, and even then, such productions required lots of planning and a bigger budget than Norm had for the special. But Lori could tell by Norm's voice that there was a real urgency to his request. Although he could be impulsive at times, his legendary gambling addiction once cost him $400,000, and he readily admitted to squandering his fortune 3 separate times in his life, Norm took his stand-up career and legacy very seriously. He combined his incredible innate talent on stage, complete with his trademark delivery and impish smile, with an almost preternatural, at times bordering on masochistic, fearlessness about bombing in front of an audience, to produce some of the most memorable moments in comedy history. She knew his call meant he was ready with the material, and they needed to move quickly. The timing was critical. Lori was one of a small handful of people, including close family members and his agent, who knew about Norm MacDonald's big secret. He was battling cancer. In 2013, Norm had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a blood cancer that is rarely noticed early on, but causes bone pain, anemia, kidney dysfunction, and inhibits the body's ability to fight infections. He chose to wage the battle out of the public eye, fearing it would affect the way he was perceived. Like all comedians, Norm depended on the audience's mood staying light and jovial, which he believed was essential to them enjoying his irreverent brand of comedy. He didn't want to be pitied or have the audience thinking about his health struggles during a set. Still, the diagnosis could not be ignored, so Norm moved to Arizona in an attempt to disappear from public view while receiving several stem cell treatments using his brother Neil's blood plasma. He used aliases to check in at the hospital, most commonly Stan Hooper as a nod to his character from his short-lived sitcom, to avoid news of his condition leaking to the media. And the aliases were mostly effective, save for some speculation about his health when one of the drugs he was taking for treatment, called dexamethasone, caused the usually thin comedian to gain weight. The treatments also seemed to be working, and the cancer went into remission shortly after his initial diagnosis, although Norm did have to give up golf and tennis as a result of some nerve damage after the treatments. But the cancer returned in 2020 and had unfortunately spread to the bone marrow, which can lead to a more deadly, acute form of leukemia. The prognosis was grim, and MacDonald, who initially believed he'd survive the ordeal, processed the news in the only way he knew how, by productively channeling his energy into finishing the material for what would become his final special. Which is why Lori went into overdrive trying to pull off the impossible when she received the call from him about filming the Netflix special that June. She knew Norm had a procedure scheduled to have another stem cell transplant at the City of Hope Medical Center just east of Los Angeles. And Norm wanted something recorded before going in, just in case things went south. She quickly set up a few cameras, pulled together some makeshift lighting, figured out the audio, and shot the special in her condo. Norm, clean-shaven, wearing a pair of clunky headphones over a hat with a blue sport coat over a pink golf shirt, then delivered 54 minutes of brand new material in a nearly empty room. It's like no other special, at once a product of the pandemic and a final love note to McDonald's most ardent fans. Hoekstra would say, quote, "It really features his secret weapon, those eyes and those dimples, and his inner light is beaming as strongly as it ever did. It just didn't look like a man who was diminished in any way." It's a point easily understood when you hear the special.
Sometimes doctors just know smart words. You ever see those guys, you know? Like one time I remember I was real tired. I had this thing. I didn't know what it was. So I went in and I said, "Hey, doc, I got this thing, man. I'm real tired." He goes, "Sounds like chronic fatigue syndrome to me." I said, "Really? What's that?" He says, "Well, chronic means always, and fatigue means tired, and syndrome, that means something you got." Anyway, you can pay Agnes $80 on the way out.
Despite sounding as vibrant and sharp as ever on the special, just a little more than a year later, Norm MacDonald passed away at the hospital on September 14th, 2021. He was only 61 years old. I'm Derek Kaufman.
I'm Jason Beckerman.
And this is Last Days, Norm MacDonald.
After recording this special, Norm's health status briefly turned for the better, and the comedian was able to put on some weight and gain some strength. Of course, he poured all of his restored energy into his work. He banged out a rough screenplay for a movie adaptation of his critically acclaimed comic novel called Based on a True Story, a memoir. He started booking stand-up gigs again, although the pandemic lockdown continued to frustrate his efforts to find live audiences and venues. Still, he planned to return to one of his old favorite clubs, Caroline's on Broadway, in November 2021. He even booked a few private gigs. Colin Quinn would later say, quote, "He booked a gig with me in August to do some casinos, and we texted each other. I would have loved to have just filmed him and just interviewed him, and not about anything personal, because he didn't like that. When you watch little segments with him, he's just one of those guys you want to hear talk." But in July 2021, about a year after filming the Netflix special, MacDonald returned to the hospital for what was supposed to be just another outpatient round of chemotherapy. He would never leave. Due to the pandemic, doctors wanted him to stay overnight, and MacDonald developed an infection. His condition made ordinary infections much more serious because his immune system was seriously compromised by the blood cancer. He would go on to spend the last 6 weeks of his life at the City of Hope Hospital. According to Hoekstra, Norm didn't talk much of dying and seemed to believe he'd recover and continue working. In late July, he even recorded a voiceover for Seth MacFarlane's show The Orville while in the hospital, using a private room and turning off beeping monitors and hospital intercoms so nobody could tell where he was zooming in from. And just a month before he passed, he told Hoekstra he wanted to watch the special he recorded. So she brought the footage to the hospital, where he watched from his bed and even gave her notes.
And then he was gone. The news struck many of his closest friends as surreal. He'd done such an incredible job of keeping everyone in the dark about his health struggles that nobody was prepared for the loss. As with the shock from Bob Saget's sudden death just a few months later, the outpouring of grief from the close-knit community of stand-ups and SNL alums showed the impact of his decision to wage the battle privately. You know, Jason, when someone announces a battle with cancer, it really gives everyone a chance to confront the prospect of the loss before it actually happens. You know, Norm was absolutely right that it would change the way people interacted with him and perceive him as a person, but it's not entirely clear to me that it's a good thing that he kept it private. You know, he certainly didn't want to be pitied, and he depended on those good vibes, and that's why he decided to wage this in the private fashion he did for the good of his comedy. But that deeply personal decision to keep it a secret does come with a cost of never getting to fully see and hear how much people love you. Nobody gets to hear their own eulogy.
Yeah, Norm's an interesting guy, right? Norm's a different guy. He's not wired like most people, even among the sort of weird set of comedians. Comedians are an interesting sort of people to begin with. Norm was an outlier in that he was more sort of idiosyncratic. He was more private. He was his type of comedy was so soft and deadpan that he was just a different guy altogether. And so, yes,
He was odd.
I
He didn't
agree.
wear the neuroses like many comedians do sort of publicly.
Yes.
He was odd.
He missed out, as you said, on a lot of those sort of well wishes from people in his dying days and frankly in the years before he died. But that's, I think, as Colin Quinn said, that's the kind of guy he was. He just didn't, it made him very uncomfortable when people got inside, and he didn't like to have that happen, which is why so few people knew about the diagnosis.
It's absolutely right. And he wasn't a man without close friends. I mean, Conan O'Brien and Andy Richter were very close with Norm Macdonald. They had him on their show countless times. They talk endlessly about loving to book him because it always made for a very funny show. And they touched on this idea of his decision to keep it private just a couple days after Norm's death.
I've had this gnawing regret this last day and a half, and it's reading all this praise for Norm, which again I believe is completely justified and will endure. And it's been a regret that he didn't get to experience this. You know, he took so much flack in his career. He took so much shit. And yes, he knew that he had fans, but I wish, it's a common wish for people, but I wish he had been able to read the stuff that's being written about him. I wish he knew how beloved he is, and also how in awe comedians are of what he did and what he meant, and how
how important he was to the people who are probably the most important people in the world to him.
Yeah.
Everyone, but especially comedians, were effusive in their praise for Norm Macdonald. As cliche as it sounds, Jason, he was truly the definition of a comedian's comedian. He didn't traffic in simple humor or low-hanging fruit. Jim Carrey tweeted after his death, quote, "My dear friend Norm Macdonald passed after a brave 10-year battle. He was one of our most precious gems, an honest and courageous comedy genius. I love him." Seth Meyers, late-night host and himself a veteran of the Weekend Update desk, shared a fitting tribute to one of his comedy icons, retelling his favorite Norm joke from the famed Update chair.
I always think about this. I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I got it right. This is my favorite Weekend Update joke of all time that I think about often. It is a perfect Norm joke. The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes.
Even his comedy targets, Jason, like Senator Bob Dole, who Norm hilariously portrayed as a third-person talking monotone old man on SNL during the 1996 presidential campaign, had this to say. He said, quote, "Norm was a great talent, and I love laughing with him on SNL. Bob Dole will miss Norm Macdonald," which I thought was such a fitting tribute.
Norm Macdonald portraying Bob Dole as always speaking in the third person about himself.
It was brilliant. Bob Dole was in on the joke, and that's how Norm did the impression. He wasn't sort of just mocking him, and Bob Dole knew that. And
so you and I both like comedy, but you're really into it. You love comedy specials. You watch them all. You told me that Norm Macdonald was a comedian's comedian. He was one of the most beloved guys within that circle of comic geniuses, all the SNL guys, the Saggets of the world, all those guys of similar age. He was the one that they may have revered more than anyone else.
I think that's right. I mean, any conversation about Norm Macdonald is going to turn reverential at some point because he does stand in sort of the Mount Rushmore. Idiosyncratically, he's my favorite comedian. I always sort of cite him as my favorite stand-up of all time. But for all comedians, he's widely respected.
And anecdotally, we've had this email address people can send in ideas for about who they want to hear us talk about. Nobody's been referenced more often than Norm Macdonald. It's been, a dozen or so people have written in saying Norm Macdonald, Norm Macdonald. We finally got around to it, and I think we see why. He was so beloved. Again, so idiosyncratic, so different, but everybody finds him really, really funny and interesting.
That's exactly right.
Any conversation about Norm Macdonald has to start with stand-up comedy, even if his cultural cachet extended beyond the relatively insular world of dimly lit, smoke-filled comedy clubs into the realm of sketch comedy with SNL. Hollywood movies like Dirty Work, and even popular fast food institutions like KFC, it all started with stand-up. He started off performing in his native Canada, taking gigs at various comedy clubs in Ottawa, and regularly appearing at a place called Yuck Yucks by the mid-'80s. He honed his dry style of observational comedy during these early years and eventually hit the stage on Star Search in 1990.
I'm feeling great. I finally quit smoking, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I smoked ever since I was a kid, so it's kind of tough for me, I remember once I was 8 years old, little kid, behind my garage, sneaking a cigarette back there, and my dad caught me. He hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, What he did is he pulled out a big cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, this giant cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. That's when I started smoking cigars real heavy.
What really stands out, Derek, about all these early performances is how fully realized his voice was at such an early stage in his career. You can listen to him then and you hear the same guy that we then heard for the next 30 years.
It's incredible because so many comedians on those Star Search, they really develop over time. You can look at like Jim Carrey, he was much zanier and he sort of honed the craft, but Norm was Norm from the beginning.
It wasn't raw and experimental, right? It was crisp. His persona was there. It was locked in right from the start. He became a fixture on late night shows. David Letterman, known for having one of the keenest eyes for comedic talent, would say, quote, "If we could have, we would have Norm on every week." Conan O'Brien echoed that sentiment, giving Norm time for a set and often extending his appearances for long sessions on the interview couch. This is time usually reserved for bigger celebrities promoting their movies and television projects, but you could just tell that Letterman and Conan liked hanging out with him and being with Norm, who was consistently hilarious and just fun to be around. And man, was he prolific, offering different material virtually every time he took the stage. Many comedians will find their favorite set and run it into the ground, performing it again and again to new audiences. Norm was among that small handful of very best, like Chappelle, Louis C.K., and others, who consistently worked on and performed new material. And like those guys, even Norm's late career stuff was absolutely brilliant.
There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. It had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close.
But to focus on just the quality of the jokes doesn't really capture what made Norm Macdonald so special to other comedians. It really was his experimental nature and fearlessness that turned him into a legend of the form and an icon for a whole generation of comedians that followed him. But those words, experimental and fearless, are thrown around a lot in comedy. And it's given to a lot of comedians who really can't back it up. But I wanted to spend the rest of this episode showing you exactly how Norm Macdonald backed up those two labels that he got. And I wanted to start with his fearlessness. First, at the height of his fame as SNL's Weekend Update correspondent, Norm Macdonald was famously replaced by Colin Quinn in 1998 for telling too many jokes like this about O.J. Simpson.
According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses," or trait.
Now, you have to imagine this. So he was warned not to tell these jokes, Jason. He has maybe the best gig in all of comedy because week in and week out, you're just writing jokes about headlines. It's where you want to be in comedy. And
you also get paid a lot of money compared to most comedians who struggle through. He's getting paid a fortune on SNL for 20 minutes a night.
20 minutes,
10 minutes a night.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to do these jokes. He felt they were very funny. They were very topical. And he didn't want to be dissuaded from doing so. You can see the compilations on YouTube if you're ever curious. The story went that Don Ohlmeyer, president of NBC's West Coast division, had Macdonald removed because he was good friends with OJ and was sick of Macdonald calling him a murderer week in and week out. Ohlmeyer always denied these rumors. He claimed Macdonald was removed for declining ratings and a drop-off in quality, but Norm never bought it and thought Ohlmeyer used his power to get revenge on him for many, many years, even pulling ads from his movies and hurting his chances at booking future projects. Norm would later soften a bit. He conceded that his version of Weekend Update, which many fans consider the best version, wasn't audience-pleasing, saying he saw Ohlmeyer's point, because why would you want some dude who's not trying to please the audience? His writing partner, Jim Downey, would echo this later in interviews, saying Norm would often take jokes that bombed during dress rehearsal and do them on the live show anyway because he believed in them and not caring if the audience found them funny or not. Still, the Ohlmeyer episode bolstered McDonald in comedy circles as a guy who was willing to put his comedic principles ahead of his career prospects.
Another great example of that fearlessness, Norm would follow up his SNL incident with an appearance as a host of the ESPY Awards in 1998 that instantly became the stuff of comedy legend. At the time, the awards were only 6 years old, and it was considered a somewhat tame event with inoffensive jokes. Coddled athletes with big egos can be a little bit thin-skinned, so the choice to have Norm MC the event was a risk. The point was to celebrate amazing feats and accomplishments in sports in a glossy award show, sort of like the Oscars for athletes. Norm, still dealing with the OJ fallout from SNL, blew that all up with his monologue, telling a series of jokes that left the athletes' jaws on the floor, including this one.
Yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So I was a little late here tonight. I took a cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like,
Jason, have you ever seen the clip? I mean, it's got all the greats from that era. You've got Ken Griffey Jr.'s jaws just dropping as he is just slaying.
It's one of the funniest clips that exists on the internet. In this time, we've become far more irreverent. We don't sort of have the same principled homage that we pay to celebs. And so now these things like the Ricky Gervais of the world,
right.
You know, it's okay to go on and just tear celebs to shreds. They're richer and more famous and more talented than we all are. So it's okay to make fun of him. But at the time, he was breaking new ground, and there were a lot of athletes who did not like it. They had never been taken to task to their faces like this. That you got to go watch the video. It's really fantastic. In typical Norm fashion, he leaned into the controversy over the OJ jokes, further cementing his status as the most courageous big-name comic on the scene.
And now I want to shift to talking about his experimental nature, because there's a lot of comedians who are okay with pushing the envelope and are called fearless, but he also sort of changed the form of comedy in a lot of meaningful ways. First, Norm was always playing with the form of comedy and remained completely unwilling to just mail it in with the same tired jokes and style. I've said this about how he always turned in new material. And in some ways, he seemed more tickled by bombing on stage than getting laughs. His performance at the 2008 Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget is probably the best example of this. The show had become a sort of arms race at the time, with comedians one-upping each other to say the raciest, raunchiest, and most offensive comments they could come up with. Norm could have easily played this game, but instead, he took the stage and delivered lines like this.
As you can see, he has wavy hair. It's waving goodbye on account he's going bald. No, I think that Bob should join the Ku Klux Klan. And that's not because he's racist. He's not racist. It's just that he'd look a lot better with a hood over his head on account of his face.
So, Jason, rather than provide more of the same and just get as raunchy as possible and say nasty things about B. Arthur, I mean, the roasts are very funny. I don't want to take anything away from what Jeff Ross has done with the roast. They're incredible.
Apparently,
they're a lot of fun to watch.
B. Arthur, though.
Some of the best jokes are at
drive-by at B. Arthur.
But instead of doing this, he just blew up the entire form. He delivered a slew of wholesome dad jokes and avuncular one-liners to a smattering of sort of confused looks, polite chuckles. It was so out of place that it seemed oddly aggressive in its own way and has become one of his most legendary moments of experimental comedy. And second, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, and perhaps his most successful experiment, was Norm's version of a joke called The Moth. Look, it's too long to play here and needs to be heard in its entirety, but here's a snippet. And it was that Norm needed to fill an entire segment after a commercial break, but had nothing further prepared for Conan that night. So he stretched a 20-second joke he heard from Colin Quinn and turned it into a 7-minute tour de force, complete with a Chekhov play reference with sadness and Russian character names. And in the process, he blew up the whole concept of brevity being the soul of wit. The only thing that matters is the journey of the joke, because the punchline of The Moth is completely hokey. And it's just absolutely brilliant, and it's probably the biggest example of why he stands out to me as the greatest comedian of all time.
Although his devotion to the craft of comedy was sincere, Norm wasn't some fussy artist completely removed from the real world. He certainly enjoyed some of the trappings of success, including high-stakes gambling and celebrity golf games. He also enjoyed his fair share of commercial success, starring in the cult comedy classic Dirty Work in 1998, making a couple of attempts at becoming a sitcom star with The Norm Show and A Minute with Stan Hooper, and even scored a memorable spot as an KFC pitchman.
Here are some slides for my research trip down to Nashville. Now, here I am at the airport. Here I am trying classic Nashville hot chicken with its spicy, smoky flavor. Here I am thinking, man, this would be great with my crispy hand-prepared chicken. Here I am writing down the recipe. And here I am with KFC's new Nashville hot chicken, straight from Nashville for a limited time only.
But none of it seemed to matter as much to Norm as his devotion to telling jokes. His last significant effort was a podcast called Norm MacDonald Live with his sidekick Adam Egett. It wasn't a huge success, but the project was a great showcase of Norm in his element. He would tell offbeat jokes, talk to guests that interested him like David Letterman and country star Billy Joel Shaver, and seemed to relish just being himself and laughing with a buddy. In his interview with Letterman, he even got briefly philosophical talking about death, but even did that in a characteristically Norm way.
You've been thinking about your mortality a lot lately? Or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you turn 70 and you can't run from it.
Ah, fuck, I was hoping you could. When I have my funeral, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, most of these funerals, crying and sad and everything like that. And that's what I like, you know? I don't want, I've heard of other ones, let's have a party. Whoa, whoa.
No party.
There'll be a lot of party days later. But right now, I'm dead.
But he wasn't always going for the laugh when it came to the subject of death. Towards the end of his life, he sat down for an interview with Larry King, and the topic of death came up. Norm had hilariously portrayed Larry King on SNL, but there was a clear warmth and respect between the two men. Now that both men have passed, their exchange about the topic of their own deaths has taken on a new poignancy.
Yeah, well, I have a fear of not existing.
Yes, but you know, the writer Nabokov said that he saw a picture one time, and it was a picture of before he was born. And it was a picture of his mother with his brother and sister that were older than him, but he had not been born yet. And he said when he saw that picture, there was no terror in him, even though he was looking at a picture where he didn't exist.
But he didn't know anything, so.
Right, he didn't, but looking at that picture didn't terrify him that he didn't exist. So he said, it won't terrify me afterwards.
Because I won't know.
Yeah, because
but
you won't die.
But the knowing that I won't know.
No, that's
what drives me.
Yeah,
of course, I know I won't know, so.
Yeah, no, if you were a dog or a cat,
here we go.
They got it all figured out.
Well, Martin Short said, when you slept last night, you could have been dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't wake up this morning, how would you know?
Jason, as I've mentioned before, this episode's very personal to me because Norm MacDonald is without a doubt my favorite stand-up comedian of all time, as I said. It's not even really that close. I don't think putting him on a Mount Rushmore of my other favorites even makes much sense because my personal comedy mountain would be just his face with that impish little smirk. I think Conan said it best when he said, selfishly, I don't feel badly for Norm. I feel badly for all of us. And because he's so singular and inimitable, in my estimation, I didn't think it would make any sense to close this episode with someone else's voice talking about Norm. I just wanted to end with Norm at his best, talking about the craft of comedy with another comedian, Marc Maron, and describing what, to him, would make for the ever-elusive perfect joke.
Like an update, I was always saying, I always thought, I said the perfect joke would be if the punchline and the setup were almost identical.
Yeah.
And then I was saying, can we ever get a joke like that? That would be the coolest. And then we actually did get one joke that was pretty close to that, not perfect, but it was Lyle Lovett and Julie Roberts are getting a divorce, and you know, people close to the couple say the reason is because he's Lyle Lovett and she's Julie Roberts. So it was pretty close. You know, the setup and the punchline were pretty close to each other. I was happy with that one.
That was the grail?
Yeah, that was the grail.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy CV with another reaction video. This is going to be, you guessed it,
Norm MacDonald. This was highly requested. Now, I don't want this to be a Norm MacDonald channel, but I'm loving Norm MacDonald's stand-up, man. And so let's keep it going just for a little bit. But this one's called Norm MacDonald and Courtney Thorne-Smith. I have no clue who that is. Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Now, before we start, I used to watch Conan O'Brien a lot, right? But I stopped watching it when he went to TBS. Yeah, he went to TBS. I don't know what channel it is for you guys, but here in Massachusetts, it was TBS or TNT. I think it was TBS. I stopped watching when he went to TBS. I started watching when he used to do that bit. I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a bit where he would predict the future. It was like in the year 2000. Come on, man. Who remembers that? Anyways. All right. Let's get this to 100 likes. We can't appreciate you guys, man. I think I'm going to do 2 more Norm MacDonalds, and then we're going to kind of relax a little bit and do some other comedians. But I do have a lot of videos that I want to watch, but I have 2 ready, and I'll post it. All right. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 5 seasons, my next guest has played Allison Parker, one of the many dysfunctional but gorgeous residents of Melrose Place. Please welcome Courtney Thorne-Smith.
Skinny Andy. Oh, that's Courtney? I never knew her name, dude. She was on Melrose Place. I don't know if you guys remember that. Right? It's her, I think. Okay, Norm. It is her. Yeah, she used to be on a show called Melrose Place, if y'all remember that. I was a kid, but, my sister used to watch it, so I kind of like, man, that's a lot of kissing. She was everywhere.
Norm, you're sick, and you're all over her like a bear rug. Just leave her alone.
Because before, during the commercial, I was saying I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
And then you said you did, too.
I said I did. When you were on Day by Day, I developed this big crush on you, and this whole talk show is a scheme to get you here.
I liked her when she was on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. Not the Tomorrow Show,
so
but the Later Show.
He says to me in the break,
You have no idea who I am.
Yeah, no, I know from that.
That's funny though that like nobody laughed at that because Conan said a real show, and this dude says, "Never mind."
Show, that's all.
He says to me, "Oh, I really like her. I saw her. I really think she's great. I really have a crush on her." And I said, "Where? You saw her at Melrose Place?" He said, "No, I was watching Tom Snyder, and she was on. She was a great guest." And I said, "Wait a minute, that's the show that's opposite our show. Why weren't you watching our show, pal?"
Because I wasn't on it that night.
All right, no, stay. We have exciting stuff.
They're like
to talk
fighting
about.
for her.
You've been on this show, Melrose Place, for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
And now you're leaving. Why are you leaving?
It's time.
She got a strong jaw, man.
Like fired, rehired, drunk, sober.
I understand.
I know.
Thank
Thank you.
Yes, I see. You mean you got tired of because they had your character pretty much go insane, go through all these really weird.
Allison has been through so much. I was sexually harassed, carjacked, had an affair with a married man who then tried to rape me and then shot himself while on the phone with me. I was drunk, sober. Well, getting sober, though, I got to have an affair.
Did he do all that stuff while on the phone with you, or just shot himself? Wait, I'm curious.
No, I was on the phone in the office, which makes it really awkward.
All right, okay.
And he was in Seattle, and he shot himself.
Oh my God!
While he was on the phone, I know.
Yeah, and so you finally.
You can't even say that today.
This character can do, right?
I can't do anymore. I've been married and divorced and widowed.
What do we say? Unalive?
What's going to happen in the season finale? Can you give us a tip for all those fans out there? What's going to happen?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
You'd be mad at
Good
me
night,
if I
everybody.
did.
We had a good time. No, I mean, give us some sense of is it one of those? Because every year they try and have a season finale where everybody gets into a Zeppelin and blows up. Something.
Well, now you've given it away.
It's a Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin. All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met.
He's so stupid.
No, because I swear to God, and when I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
Place?
a Melrose Place.
Place.
You know this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these like tourists, and these tourists, like they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah.
That's it. He makes it so awkward, man.
Well, thanks for the help, pal. He'll get over it. You'll see. Now, I got to ask you about this because we... Shut up. That makes it all right. Well, I want to talk to you about something because this came up earlier in the show accidentally because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight, and it's best sometimes if I don't know. But he mentioned Carrot Top. You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay.
Carrot Top is nuts.
It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put the
out yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again just so we can all see him? Oh, there it is again, yeah. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. This begs the question now, why a movie with Carrot Top?
Why a movie with Carrot Top?
I mean, no, I don't know much about Carrot Top, you know? I don't know much about him. I'm a little jealous because he's a red-haired comedian, and I felt like maybe you'd do a movie with me first, then move on to Carrot Top, then to Ralph Mal from Happy Days. You know, sort of the three. There's an order in which you do movies with the redheads. What's he like, first of all?
He's extraordinarily sweet.
Nice guy.
He really is. And he worked very hard, and he was adorable.
And he works with a lot of props and stuff, too, right?
Not in the movie.
Oh, in the movie they took his props away?
Props away.
That's a bad time to suddenly take away everything you know about comedy. You know, you've been using props now all your life for comedy.
That's messed up.
Now we're going to take them away when you make your first movie. Was he okay, though, with it? He was cool?
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top. Basically what we were doing.
Wow. I got to check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds?
Oh my God.
Sure ejaculated.
You know what happened? This is what happened. You know what happened? He said 9.5 seconds, and I'm looking at him because I know there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to, but no. But what's the movie going to be called?
I don't know why he had to explain it.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for Courtney.
You scare everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I would see any movie with this girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
Okay. As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
Don't ask him.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Don't ask him. Oh, man.
All right, everybody. That's pretty much it.
Bro, I've said it before, man. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to Norm. Like, you know, that's just random stuff, man. Like I said, that's just freestyling it, right? Like I said, man, he's like a cool uncle that you could just sit there and just listen to him talk all day, and it's gonna be hilarious. Just how he says it and how he comes up with with anything. That was funny, man. That last one was funny. I'm like, don't ask this dude. Don't ask him because he could do it. And then, wow, that was a good one, man. Anyways, man, and that's the thing about Norm, man. He's just like I said, he's just like an uncle, man. And him and obviously Conan, they do have a nice chemistry, obviously. I've never seen this, but I've watched them before, and I've always said they're just like cool together. You know what I mean? And they just bounce off each other too. So they're both just nice guys, playful, and that's what you get, man. But yeah, there's a lot of Norm requests, but like I said, I want to do a few others. Especially female comedian. There's no female comedian on this channel. Who's my favorite female comedian? Samoa. I don't know if you guys know Samoa, but Samoa is one of my favorite. Other than that, I don't know a lot of female comedian. What about the what's her name? The old lady that used to be on E. Oh my God, she passed away. Just something Jones? Something Jones. I can't remember her name, but I can see her face. Old. She used to be on E, and she didn't give a damn. Is it Jones? God, I have a brain fart right now. I can see her face. Oh my God, what is her name? Anyways, so I know her, but I don't know a lot of her stand-up. I'm only saying her because I watched her on E, the channel E Hollywood or whatever it used to be called. So that's all I know about her, but never saw her stand-up. I don't even know if she does stand-up. But yeah, when it comes to female comedians, I love Samoa. But other than that, I don't know any. So if you guys can think of a female comedian, put in the comment section below, because like I said, man, I don't want to just do Norm, even though I'm loving it. But let's take a break a little bit and then we'll come back, because I got a lot of Norm requests, so we'll do it. Anyways, keep your head up. Love you guys as always. Till next time, peace.
I don't know if Norm still tours. You'd be a good compliment for Norm, man.
You don't think I'm too much, too similar?
I don't know. I think it'd be funny.
Jeez, he's my hero.
I think it'd be work. Yeah.
I'd be blown away.
Yeah, the guy's amazing.
Never met him.
Very funny. Just it's such an impressive stand-up to see live.
Yeah.
Because you think right before he goes on, I opened up for him for about a year, and after we did Dirty Work, and then. He always think like, no matter where you are, you think like he's not gonna make it. Like he goes, he's holding his stomach. He goes, I can't do this, man. I'm not gonna make it here. I don't want to go on. I want to quit. He'll be fine. And you got to push him in front of the microphone. And then he does an hour and 45 and destroys. Doesn't take the mic out like this, like, and then he just leaves.
Yeah. I saw him at Caroline's when I was broke. I was poor. I wasn't even in the club, so I had to pay the real fee. I couldn't be like, I'm a comic. They didn't know me.
I know. And you mean the fair prices over there too?
Yeah, right. I spent like $70.
That's great when you're broke.
Yeah. And I went and saw him, and he was killing, and he got heckled in the middle of the show, and he's drinking a Coca-Cola, and he just goes, it's dead silent, this tension, like, what's he gonna say? And he just goes, I don't know what to do about that, And then he goes back to the act. I've never seen anyone handle a heckle like that.
I don't know about that. Now sometimes I just go,
Funniest guy on the planet.
No, he really is. He's up there. He's very, very funny. He's a fun guy to talk. See, doing the road with a guy like that is fun for the late night conversations that last till 6 in the morning about show business, about who he hates.
Yeah,
you start talking about who you hate.
Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's the funnest stuff.
Oh, and who sucks and who you hate and this and that and the other thing, and then of course you pass out.
Mm-hmm.
I was on stage recently. I did a racial slur in my set, and in my defense, I didn't even know it was a racial slur. But can we all agree that the gentlest of the racial slurs has got to be Chinaman? I mean, come on, he's from China, he's a man, not so bad. To me, I think the names of Chinese restaurants sound a lot more like racial slurs. Let's try some. You know who can't drive? Those fucking panda kids. They cannot drive at all. And listen to this, one of those golden noodles just moved my apartment. They've been right next door to me. They're one big happy family. Those guys really burned me up, those lucky dragons.
one time he came in, man, and he said to me, can I do 5 minutes? I say, can you do 5 minutes? You Bob Hope.
Is he Chinese?
I know, I can't do him. Every time I do him, people say that sounds like a Chinaman. And I go, that's not a nice thing to call Asians. You know? Why do people do that? But as an epithet, though, don't you think Chinaman is the least offensive?
I do. I
Man
mean,
from China.
Unless it's a woman, but
yeah.
But then
you'd say Chinaman woman.
Chinaman woman.
But it's literally man from China.
I couldn't agree more. I'm not.
Because as racial, I should say, epithets go, that seems to me to be the least offensive one. Because it's literally man from China.
I know. I know. I think Chinaman is it's okay.
Except if it refers to all Asians.
Yeah, that's the problem. Do you know all the do you know all the racial things against Asians? Yeah, can you tell me them?
Well,
I love when
Guy Aoki got mad at me one time.
Why?
He's the head of the guys that get defended. Because what about this? If you say Asian, right? Then that's everybody from that entire continent.
It's more specific.
Meanwhile, Chinese hate Japanese.
Well, I mean, you're now one. Okay.
Well, I mean, they raped their Nanking.
I mean, I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
You don't forget that. Somebody rapes your Nanking.
Why isn't that in USA Today?
Yeah, it's in USA Today. I'm sorry.
We had this guy in France, a TV host, who would set you up for the joke, but almost tell the joke, but like everything, the whole thing, you know? So, God, you don't like it when you go skiing and someone is behind you, but the whole thing, and then there's nothing left.
Yes.
So, right.
We have that guy too, Byron Allen.
I don't know.
Oh, but that guy, seamless to get you into a bit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm like, how does he know I went scuba diving? This guy.
Yeah. He has that famous Norm skit, or Norm was on his show, Norm MacDonald, and he goes, so Norm, I hear you're getting older. And Norm goes, yeah, we all are. But he thought he was going to set him up for a big bit.
He's brilliant, Byron Allen. He had that Comics Unleashed. You ever do that? Oh, you couldn't be more leashed.
There's nothing. It's not like there's nothing unleashed about it. It's not like you would have like Lenny Bruce on and like.
And he has no segue. So this is what he said to John Lovitz one time. He just turned to him from, he's talking to Schimmel, and then he goes to John Lovitz. He goes, now, John, I understand you're growing older.
There's a new 24-hour cable TV channel now. It's called Fish TV. The channel shows a giant aquarium of fish 24 hours a day, except from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. when it shows the Byron Allen Show. And there's a new 24-hour cable channel. It's called the Golf Channel. It shows golf 24 hours a day, except for between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. when it shows the Byron Allen Show.
Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike. Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the Office Blokes. Yeah. Desperately trying not to make a joke about what we were just talking about.
Best not, yeah.
Fighting the urge.
Keep it back.
Yep. No, it'd be the other way, wouldn't it? Because anyway, I was reeling it in. We are the Office Blokes, and we have a Patreon page. The Office Bloke Mike is desperate to tell you about.
Go to patreon.com and put in Office Blokes React. We've got loads of tiers there, starting just £1.50. We've got a Discord server, we've got block content, we've got a weekly exclusive podcast as well for patrons only. So why don't you go on there, support the channel, check it out.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Nice.
I'd really appreciate it.
Smooth. Right, Norm MacDonald's final stand-up performance on Letterman. We did.
Should be good then.
We did some stuff. Him joking about COVID in a club, didn't we?
We did. Yeah.
And I think he's like.
I thought that was the last one.
I think this is just his last one on TV,
maybe. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because the footage was a bit crap of the other one we did.
It wasn't the best, was it?
Yeah. But by all accounts, knew he was ill for a long time. didn't tell anyone and just cracked on just doing what he did.
Yeah. The only problem with Norm MacDonald is, and his stuff is not many really good videos. That's
true.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, you mentioned before. Yeah, a lot of it's
very hard to get good footage.
Yeah. If anyone knows of any, links to good videos of Norm MacDonald. And what we mean by that is video quality. Not his jokes, because he's a funny guy.
Yeah. He gets on Letterman, it'll be a decent quality video, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, let's do it. Norm MacDonald's final stand-up performance on Letterman.
Thanks, guys. Listen, I don't want to brag or anything, but me and Oprah are making the same money tonight.
That's going to be just when she got in trouble, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. What was that for?
I want to say like she compared something to the Holocaust, or she made like quite an ill-advised comment about the Holocaust not being as severe as it was, or something. Wow. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Was that Oprah Winfrey?
Right. Yeah, it was on. Are
you sure,
View,
Dave?
on the View.
You're not getting mixed up with Whoopi Goldberg, are you, mate?
It was Oprah, wasn't it?
I think it was Whoopi Goldberg.
Was it Whoopi Goldberg? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you just trying to throw me under the bus there? I still think it's Oprah.
Trying to pull you out from under it, Dave, I think.
I still think it was Oprah that said that.
Let
us know in the comment section, because I'm always exclusively wrong with these things.
Go straight after this.
The same money tonight. But the show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen. So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse by the big acid companies, that's all it is. But I can't believe it's been a quarter century since I made my television debut. It was all different back then. You know, it was back then, I remember if you wanted to take a picture, you would use a camera, not a telephone. As a matter of fact, if you used a telephone, people would look at you odd. You'd be like... Just stay still like that. What about in the old days when they took pictures of you way back, you know, where they pulled that thing and exploded and stuff? I got a picture of my great-grandfather. The thing took 6 hours to take your picture, and it was a picture of my great-grandfather, one. They only had, every guy had one picture back then. And it's just him like... I gotta get back, feed them hogs. Who's gonna feed the hogs? Somebody gotta feed them hogs. Now, in the future, of course, it'll be different. 50 years from now, people will be going like, hey, you want to see 100,000 pictures of my great-grandfather? I got him right here, plus everything he did every day of his life. Hey, this occurred to me today. ID, which I had to show it again. There's a strange abbreviation when you think about it. I is short for I. And then D is short for dentification. They could have split that one up a little better, you know? But I watch the TV, I watch the news, make you afraid, the news, you know? Put all these stories on, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, you know, try to scare you, you know? But does it ever really scare you? Like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night, North Korea! That little tiny country across the ocean. I wonder if they'll get me. Plus, didn't MASH settle that like 20 years ago? Why'd I have to watch that stupid show? There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. It had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close. Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world. And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, Crankly, that guy. And I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking. But you'd think at that point the world will go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the world. I mean, what do you think, you're Mars or something? Anyways, listen, folks, this will be my last time on the David Letterman show, I understand. And you guys, we all know that David Letterman was the greatest talk show host who ever lived. But I remember Dave differently because the first time I saw him, I was 13 years old. I was living in... I was living in Toronto, Canada, and I went to a talk show they had there. And David Letterman was the stand-up comedian on the show. And I loved stand-up. And David Letterman did this joke that I told everybody this joke. I love this joke. It still stays with me as my favorite stand-up joke ever. So I'd like to do it for you if you'd like to hear it. Because I was on the street the other day and I saw a garbage truck, and on the back of the garbage truck there was a small sign that said, "Please do not follow too closely. Another of life's simple pleasures ruined by a meddling bureaucracy," ladies and gentlemen. You remember the old days when Dad would pile the kids in the station wagon and we'd all go out and follow a garbage truck? So anyways, I'd just like to say, I know that Mr. Letterman is not for the mawkish, and he has no truck for the sentimental, but if something is true, it is not sentimental, and I say in truth, I love you. Oh my God. God.
Actually, legitimately emotional.
Very funny, Norm. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
That was very sweet, Norm.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, very
I thought
emotional.
that just towards the end when he was talking, he kept putting his hands up when he was talking about when he was in Toronto.
Yeah, I wasn't
And
sure
I
if it was
thought-
a joke or not. Or
No,
anything.
it looks legit. That, I thought.
Yeah, it was definitely legit.
Do you think he knew he was dying at that point?
Possibly.
How,
I think he
when
probably
did
did. He
Letterman retire, or when
Don't
did
know.
he?
Not sure. I think he probably knew. Yeah, he was
Seemed that
dying,
way.
and he's
Seemed
probably
that way, didn't it? He's like his last goodbyes.
and maybe it was his
Yeah.
last, time on television, maybe as well.
I'm thinking his goodbyes on the circuit.
But Letterman's got a giant beard now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's like down
Oh, is
to
it?
there,
Yeah,
so
wow.
it's going to have needed time to grow that beard.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a thing that was Dave Chappelle, Adam Sandler, Letterman, I want to say David Spade. It was like a round table remembering Norm Macdonald. And it was about half an hour where they were just discussing Norm Macdonald and things like that. And one thing I think Dave Chappelle was saying is Norm used to, if he was told that jokes would bomb and he tested them on people and they bombed, he'd go and purposely do them.
Right.
And like he lent into it and loved the awkwardness of knowing a joke wouldn't work and just standing there like...
Deal with it, sort of thing.
Because there was a few things there that weren't really that funny.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely. Yeah.
It's a good job they showed Letterman at the end, because to me it looked like he was standing in for Letterman and doing a monologue.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Yeah, a bit.
Yeah.
But he was, it's obviously his final circuit type thing, his goodbye circuit.
Yeah, it's like a unique comedian, wasn't
Very
he? You know,
much so, yeah.
everything he did, his delivery, everything, his inflection, his voice,
Always
full a lot,
class.
the way he, delivered things, his comedy sort of like lines and everything.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's just, if you did like, because a lot of comedians will do a set and then later on that night they'll do another set.
Yeah.
And if you're working on material and it's just bombed at 4 PM or 5 PM, to then go out at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock,
And do the same one again.
but just lean into it. I mean,
he was a comic genius.
Not many people would do that. People would fight against that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but people go that long doing comedy because they're that good.
Yeah.
If you're that bad, you don't last that long, do you?
True.
Absolutely no
When I was
chance.
younger, he was probably my favourite comedian.
Really?
Yeah, Norm Macdonald. I was like in the early 20s, sort of say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably one of the best.
Nice.
Top bloke. Top bloke.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Julie Reacts. On this episode, we are reacting to Norm Macdonald moth joke. You guys have suggested this. You guys love watching me react to this guy. So let's see it, shall we? He does deliver jokes in such a funny, odd way. Like the breaths, the amount of time it takes for him to speak. It's truly just Norm Macdonald, I've realized, and sometimes it irks me, but it is funny. Like, he's just like such a character. What does this have to do with the moth? Like, what is going on right now? Hey, can I just say something? I don't watch much talk show stuff. Conan. Do we really like him? Because I don't really. Just from this one interview, I'm just getting bad vibes from him. Tell me what you think. Oh, guys. I love it. Like, so long for that ending. I love it. He can't say that shit, because a lot of Norm's jokes are like that. Like the one I just reacted to, the Janice one. So, like, again, why do you like him? Like, he's literally insulting his whole comedy, I feel like, by saying these things. And Norm Macdonald is what you guys have told me, is he's a legend. So this has been a bit of a shorter video, but if you've enjoyed it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and check out my Patreon, where I just posted a new video reacting to Rick and Morty. Check out my Patreon if you want me to react to Rick and Morty. Let's go, baby. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
You may take your seats. That was kind. God damn. You threw me off. Last time I performed here at the Just for Laughs Gala was 25 years ago, and I did so well, they invited me back. So that was nice. I love Montreal, my God, and call me an eternal optimist, but I really believe in my heart that this is the year that the Expos are finally going to win it all. Montreal, famous for a lot of things, one of them being the greatest strip clubs in all of the world. Yeah. Last night, are you aware of Club Super Sex? Yeah, so last night I went to Club Super Sex. I chose the soup. Big mistake. Hey, big election coming up, and in Canada, this is the difference in elections in America and Canada, is elections in America mean something. You vote for the wrong motherfucker, the world blows up. I don't need that on my hands. Whereas Canada, it's always like, well, what's your view on the bridge? I say keep as it is. I don't think they need to clean that up. That's fine. It was easy when I was young to vote because it was simply, you just didn't vote for the French guy. It couldn't have been an easier choice. As a matter of fact, I almost feel like coming back this fall just as an homage to my late father and not vote for Trudeau. My dad did not like Trudeau. Trudeau was my hero, though. I loved him, And since I've come back, I've been watching the news and everything. I've been seeing Justin, And I thought, by God, this Justin kid, he must be brilliant because his father was Pierre Elliott Trudeau. But then I forgot, he's got a mother. So that's kind of evens everything out. What's also different in American and Canadian elections? In America, you get to vote for the President of the United States, and in Canada, you vote for some motherfucker who lived down the street. In your riding. Whatever the hell that is. So then, that guy, he goes to the House of Parliament, and he's like, oh, wow, this is big. And then the speaker's like, all right, well, what are we going to talk about? Anybody want to bring an issue? And then your guy's like, yeah, our bridge ain't looking too good. The speaker's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I go, no, I'll sit down. Sorry about that, Anyways, hey, how about that Caitlyn Jenner, huh? I personally have great admiration for Caitlyn Jenner because, back in the year of our Lord 1976, when I was a teenage boy, why, I saw Caitlyn Jenner here at the 1976 Olympics. She went by the name of Bruce back then. And she won the decathlon. And this is what I think. I think what a wonderful time. You see, it's all timing, And now imagine how great it would have been for the transgender community if, when awarded that gold medal, Bruce Jenner said, hey, I'm a lady. And people go, God damn, the greatest athlete in the world is a lady. Would have really vaulted it, but no, he waits. Waits until he is 65 years old. Now, in all seriousness, I mean, in all honesty, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old man Well, I hate to bring it up, the elephant in the room. There's no elephant in the room, by the way, don't panic. What if there was an actual elephant in the room? I'm like, I don't want to bring up the elephant in the room. Yeah, no, go ahead. No, seriously, yeah. I think I should bring up there's an elephant in the room. No, go ahead. No, the elephant in the room, of course, here we are at a comedy festival. And of course, this was the year of Bill Cosby. And this was tough on me as a comedian. And I'm sure on many of the comedians you'll see here tonight. Because, you know, there's a trailblazing comic, Mr. Cosby, you know. And I remember growing up and listening to albums of his with my dad. And by God, I loved him, you know. And I tried to emulate. Really loved Bill Cosby, you know, and so to have this happen just made me so sad. You know, a friend of mine said to me, he said, Norm, you know, the worst thing about it is the hypocrisy. And I said, I don't think that's the worst part. Worst part, the raping. Then it would be the drugging that preceded the raping. Then it would be finding the drugs that you would be used to drug the lady that you were going to rape. You know, it's a big, long list till you hit hypocrisy. That'd be way down there, I think, personally. As a matter of fact, I would venture to guess, and I don't know, I have no empirical evidence for this, but I would venture to guess that most rapists are hypocrites. And there's a lot of rapists hanging around going, sure, I love to rape. I'm out front about it, goddammit. I'm no hypocrite. So anyways. That is how I feel about Bill Cosby and hypocrisy. I feel that it's just, you know, it doesn't come into the equation at all. Like you could never find a woman would never wake up all drugged up and shit, you know, Cosby cock in her face. And, oh, goddamn, what is that, a Cosby cock or something? Looked like a Cosby cock to me. Hypocrisy!
Hey everybody, we're back. Here with Norm MacDonald, and you were talking about going to the cat hospital or the pet hospital in the last segment. I understand you actually had to visit yourself.
Yeah,
the hospital.
I went. What happened was on the show, on the Saturday Night Live show.
Yeah, that show. Yeah, I know that show.
I was on that, and Dennis Rodman was a guest.
Dennis Rodman, right?
And so we thought it'd be funny if he headbutted me, you know. So he headbutted me, but he did it really hard, you know.
Do we have a? I think actually someone supplied the clip. This is you're not kidding around. This is a real clip of what happened. Let's show that, Liz.
You're gonna have to learn that there is such a thing as rules, Dennis Rodman. Do you understand that?
Sure, man. I understand.
Yeah? Good.
Wait a minute. It did look like he.
Yeah, that really.
You hear that dull thud of like skull on skull.
Yeah,
it really.
Yeah, and I don't have like a strong head. I haven't been working it out lately.
Really?
But he has like an athlete's head, you know? But no, beforehand he said, like I said, hey, don't hit me with your head, or no, you know, don't really hit me. And he goes, no, Al. He goes, he had this thing where he was gonna put his thumbs, and as soon as he touched my thumbs, I go back, and then he got all excited and headbutted me. So like.
So did you feel him like pull the thumbs back, and then real head was coming in at you?
And so I like blacked out for like a minute, and then the next day I had this huge headache, so I thought I was gonna die, you know. And so I went to the hospital. I went to St. I don't want to say the hospital, but I went to this hospital and to emergency, you know, and they're all like, they're the craziest guys in emergency, all like crack. Everybody's on crack. You know, every emergency is a guy on crack.
Yeah.
So I went in and they go like, hey, how much crack do you have? You know? And I go, I'm not on crack. And they go, what happened? I go, Dennis Rodman headbutted me on the TV. He headbutted me on the TV. So they go, yeah, right.
How much crack?
Yeah.
So what happened? Anything wrong?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They said, like, you can't tell. They said, like, the only way you can tell is if later on, if you go to sleep and you don't wake up. Yeah.
That's why you didn't mention the name of the hospital.
Yeah, I don't want to mention it. I didn't know this, too. If you go to emergency, you got to pay. They keep sending me bills, like all kinds of bills.
You thought it was free, that you could just go there and...
Yeah. I'm from Canada. It's all free there.
Oh, okay. Now, you know, I guess I've known you for, I don't know, for a little while now, and you've come on the show a bunch of times, and we've gotten, you know, and I was kind of surprised because someone told me that Norm MacDonald, has gotten kind of, you know, superstitious, and I thought, that's odd, because I don't think of you as that kind of person.
I never was. I was always a doubting Thomas. I couldn't think of the name. I was always a doubting, I was going to say Fred for some reason. I was always a doubting Thomas, you know. I was always, that stuff, that's not true. That's a load of stuff, you know. So, but then I had this thing, you wouldn't believe it. You know, I'd opened my eyes and made a believer out of me. What happened was I had a dream, and it was like the number 7 in my dream. A giant number 7. Wow. It was the most vivid dream I ever had. So I wake up from the dream, right?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So I wake up from the dream, from this number 7. I look over at my clock, 7 o'clock, right?
Wow.
So I get up. It's not that coincidental.
No, I'm just sort of going along with you. Yeah.
So then I go out and I decide, hey, why don't I take a cab, you know? So I get in the cab, and it's cab number 7, I notice, when I'm in the cab. Now I'm starting to get a little freaked out, you know? And so I say, hey, take me to the track. I enjoy playing the ponies, you know?
Sure, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
I like going down there, Conan. I like visiting my money. So
you crack me up.
My uncle used to say that. So I go to the track, you know, and I say, okay, what do I owe you there, fella? He says, $7.77.
Oh.
I said, good Lord. I said, I thought it was like 40 cents. Anyways. So I go, here you go. I pay him, you know, I gave him like $8, you know.
Right.
So I walk through gate 7, you know, went up to window number 7 there at the horse place, you know, and I look up, they have the form there, you know, the racing form shows you all the races. So I look and I see in the 7th race, there's a horse called Lucky 7. And he pays 77 to 1, you know? So I say, to hell with this. I say, I'm going to pull out all my money. I pull out all my money. I had like $700.
Wow.
Pull it out. I said, put this all on Lucky 7th and the 7th, you know? I go watch the race. Damn if he didn't come in 7th.
That's incredible. What an amazing story. Well, that's an incredible story, Norm.
I'm sorry about cursing. I forgot that.
That's all right. We're on cable by now, I think. Listen, now let me tell everybody where you're. The Saturday Night Live this weekend's a good one. It's a rerun, but let's get real excited about it. John Goodman and Everclear are going to be on that show.
Yeah, they're great.
People should check that out. And Rita Rudner, the Sonny Burgess and Rosie Flores combo coming up. Norm MacDonald, thank you very much for doing it. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Would you like to hear a joke?
I would love a joke. It's something the people I feel need a joke right now because, you know, times are really weird.
This is not my joke.
You didn't write this?
No, sir. It's just what they call a street joke.
Good.
But my dad would always tell this joke. It was about a little boy called Dirty Johnny, you know, and he'd be in class. You ever heard Dirty Johnny?
The Dirty Johnny jokes, yes. Heard the whole series.
In this in this joke, he's not dirty. But anyways, the teacher has a thing, and the teacher says, today in class, we are going to have a little experiment. You're going to tell a story from your real life, and then afterwards, you are going to tell the moral of that story. You know? So Sheila puts up her hand, and the teacher says, Sheila, what's your story? So Sheila says, well, my dad works at the hatchery, and he took some eggs, and he put them all in a basket. All the eggs he put in one basket. And then he put them in the horse and buggy, and off we went to town, and the earth was uneven, and the eggs broke. And the teacher goes, well, that's an all right story, but I can't understand what the moral would be to that story. So Sheila says, well, the moral is, don't put all of your eggs into one basket. So the teacher says, well, by God, this is exactly what I'm looking for and what I was hoping for with this experiment.
Yeah.
And anybody else have one? So Marjorie puts up her hand. Okay, Marjorie, what's your story? Well, my father works for the hatchery. Most of us.
Most people in that town work in the hatchery.
Worked at the hatchery.
Thank God for the hatchery, she says. Or where would we be? So she says, my father, he sells chickens. And he knows that eggs become chickens. See what I mean? So he had to count his chickens so he could go and sell them in town. So he had 9 chickens and 5 eggs. So instead of saying he had 9 chickens, he added the 5 eggs. You see, he counted them as chickens. So he said, I have 14 chickens. So he took them, Sheila says, and put them in the horse and buggy, and off they went to town, but the land was uneven. The chickens survived easily. They frolicked. The eggs broke. Well, the teacher says again, that's a story, you know. But what on earth could the moral of that story be? Well, Sheila says, if that's her name, I forgot. She says, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of the eggs.
Right.
Teacher says you could probably shorten it a little. So, but that's great. And that's exactly what we're looking for. And then she looks at the back of the class, and by God, there's the upraised hands, as you say, fucking dirty Johnny.
Fucking dirty Johnny. He's going to ruin the lesson.
So the teacher, inside of her head, her thoughts are moving around, and she's like, God, I don't want to hear dirty Johnny saying it. This is going so well, but at the same time, I took a vow and I became a teacher that every student. All right, Johnny, let's hear your story. So dirty Johnny gets up and he says, this is a story about my Uncle Terry. He didn't work for the hatchery. He didn't even like people that did. He was in Vietnam. And he lives on the disability checks he got. Uncle Terry was not a popular man, not even among those he worked with. And I suppose we've all heard of people who've deserted from their battalion. But I don't know if you've ever heard of a battalion deserting a man. That's what they did with Uncle Terry. One day, Uncle Terry awoke in the middle of Da Nang, and everybody was gone. He was alone, and they'd left him 3 bottles of Jack Daniels and some weaponry. So, Uncle Terry got up, says Dirty Johnny, and he downed the bottle of Jack Daniels in 2 slugs, and he threw it down and smashed it into the jungle. And then he walked, picked up the 2 Kalashnikovs and 3 or 4 Glocks and a couple of hand grenades, and off he walked into the unknown, the jungle, his fate. Came upon a village, and from the village came people. Now, were they Charlie, or were they the people that Terry was sent to protect from Charlie? Uncle Terry didn't know. But he knew he had to do something, so he took another swig from the bottle, and he let loose took that Kalashnikov and he let it sway like a farmer would a scythe. And the bullets came, and just as hay would fall before a farmer, so the people fell before Uncle Terry. The men, the women, and by God, even the children. And finally, Uncle Terry stood alone in the mud and the blood and the guts and only at himself. He took a long swig, and his hand brushed against his pants, and he felt wetness, and then he felt shame because he realized he had urinated himself in fear. And then, upon closer inspection, he realized it was not urine. It's ejaculate. And his shame was replaced by pride. And that teacher goes, holy fucking shit, what the fuck? Fucking kind of fucking story is that? Like, we just heard the hatchery and shit, and now this? She goes, well, Dirty Johnny, what on earth could be the moral to such a story? So Johnny thinks about it for a couple of minutes, and he goes, well, I don't know, I guess. Well, I know one thing. You don't fuck with Terry when he's had some drink in him. And he's uncorked the jug. You stay away from Uncle Terry. And he doesn't like anybody that works at the hatchery either. You remember that. You tell your parents that.
Wow.
So that's just to lighten things
what
up.
A joke. Your dad told you that? Your dad was a great storyteller.
That was my dad's story. That
You taught us to laugh again, Norm.
Thank you.
Look at that.
my goodness.
Ejaculated right in his pants, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Loved
The thrill
killing.
of it. The thrill of it.
thrill of killing.
The thrill of it. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows what it was?
Who knows what would happen if you were put in that situation?
Thank you for that story, Norm.
I mean, we always talk about going back and, if you could only go back in time and kill Hitler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what a horror it would be to go back in time, meet Hitler, and get hypnotized by him.
And like him.
And then become one of the guys. And then it gets even worse.
They say he was a very powerful speaker. You didn't know. All of a sudden, you're killing in
They
his name.
say he was a powerful speaker. Then on YouTube, he's like, you're like, what
Yelling.
the fucking Christ? Don't vote for him. Vote for anyone else.
It's not just the booze talking. I think I really am relaxing. It's the Xanax, the Prozac, and the booze talking. But, no, I'm a little nervous, I mean, who the hell am I? But it's been great to be in Washington, I can tell you that, man. Oh, my God, I had a lovely stay here so far. I've been sightseeing, and in fact, I stopped at a museum. This is probably interesting to you guys. They have this news museum now. Have you seen this? It's a museum that's dedicated to broadcast journalism, and they have all sorts of, tributes to Edward R. Murrow and such, and they have this one fascinating place. It's a kind of an interactive display, and visitors, what they can do is they can appear on camera and pretend that they are real journalists, So far, it's been visited 20 times by Matt Lauer, but I guess he's a legend, too. I didn't know. You got Murrow, Severide, Edwards, and Lauer. All right. And also today I took a visit to the White House. For any of you who haven't taken a visit to the White House, unbelievable. So, awe-inspiring and, very rich in history, so beautiful, Although I did notice a kind of an odd sign on the president's desk. It said, the yen stops here. Have you seen it? What the hell does that mean? The yen? I thought it was the buck stops here, I'd always heard. Of course, they say the White House is haunted. Did you know that? And I thought this was kind of sad. I heard last night that President Clinton charged Abraham Lincoln's ghost $10,000 to sleep in his own bed. So that doesn't seem right to me, I mean...
But look, the president, has come under a lot of fire for raising money, but, he's good at it. He's good at raising money. That's not a bad thing. Every president's done it. It's just that President Clinton is very, very, very good at it. Do you know he has organized in the past year over 100 fundraising dinners and over 200 fundraising midnight snacks? Did you know that? Is he laughing? Is he? No, but Mr. President, seriously, I know you've had to work through a lot of distractions in doing the business of running this country, and I just want to say, that I implore you, stay focused and do the job, and try to remember, that Rome was not built in a day, I mean, just ask Strom Thurmond, he'll tell you. It was not built in a day. He's an old fella, folks. How would you not know that? I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So... I have to say, though, this is an incredible thing for me. I'm just a punk, and yet here I am, I can't believe I'm speaking in a room. I'm standing in a room here with the most powerful man in the country, Alan Greenspan, and it's a little amazing to me. It's a little, Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet, The newlyweds are going to spend their honeymoon in Mexico, and I thought this was sweet. As a gift to his new bride, Alan Greenspan just devalued the peso so that that'll be nice. So, anyways, a little bit more of my coffee. Anyways. It just occurred to me, Mr. President, you are now handicapped, and you're the President of the United States. You must have an unbelievable parking spot, That's... That's got to be very close to the building, But, you got to hand it to the president. His injury is not holding him back from doing the business of the nation. In fact, he just nominated Major General Claudia Kennedy as the Army's first female 3-star general. And I think that's great. She's doing a great job. Apparently, the only thing she's having trouble with, she's having difficulty figuring out how to sexually harass herself. She doesn't know how to. What's that? Guy yells my name for no reason. I have another announcement to make. Is that what you're telling me? That I should make this announcement? You're right. You make a good point with your incoherent gibberish. Here it is. Here's my other announcement. The U.S. State Department, folks, has just issued a travel warning for all women moving past Dick Morris's table. So... I don't know. Well, that's about it for me. I just want to... How about this Heaven Gates call? This is what everybody's talking about. It's unbelievable. And it really is a sad story, and it's hard to comprehend. I mean, think about it. Who in their right mind would believe that you get into a spaceship behind a comet by castrating yourself and committing suicide? I mean, other than Pierre Salinger, who on earth would believe...
just saw him out in the lobby with a pair of sneakers, Nike sneakers, a big purple shred, going, where are they? Did I miss it? Well, that's it for me, folks. I just want to say, before I go, that it really has been a thrill for me. I joke around about the news, but you people, you do the real thing, and you serve as our watchdogs, and you tell the real stories that come out of this city. And I, for one, think you do a darn good job. And as a matter of fact, I have a message from someone who couldn't be here and wanted me to read it to you. This is from Senator Bob Dole. He wanted me to read this to you. Here it is. This is it. This is from Senator Bob Dole. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, to hell with all of you. You cost me the damn election. You can kiss my ass, every last one of you. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Norm. I guess you can turn to the IMIS program tomorrow to see how you did.
C-SPAN will re-air the Radio and Television Correspondents Association dinner this weekend. Check our schedule hotline for programming times. Today we'll bring you President
WNYC is supported by Picador, publishers of The Sellout by Paul Beatty. Nominated as one of 5 books for the One Book, One New York program. Learn more about the book, the program, and how to vote for your pick at www.voteforthesellout.com.
On a true story, a new memoir from actor, gambler, raconteur, and Saturday Night Live veteran Norm MacDonald has been described. Mr. MacDonald's dry sense of humor established him as one of the most beloved and controversial anchors of Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update, and as his book's title suggests, based on a true story, is much more than a memoir. It's a Hunter S. Thompson-inspired epic of the comedian's life, including classic jokes and long mythologized Hollywood stories, with guest appearances from Chris Farley, Rodney Dangerfield, Sarah Silverman, Adam Sandler, and many others. I'm very pleased it has brought Norm MacDonald to our show today. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. You talk about how the process of writing was not something that you really liked. You found it grueling. So what led you to even try to write a memoir?
Well, what happened was I was in a hotel room in Edmonton, Alberta, and my manager told me to look at my Wikipedia, and I looked at my Wikipedia, and somebody had changed my Wikipedia, and I was dead in my Wikipedia. And I had overdosed on morphine, which is some 19th century kind of drug to take, in the very hotel room that I was reading this. And so I chuckled as you did at first, but then I didn't. Then I got frightened because I knew that one day that would be true, And
what, that you die of morphine, or
no, just that the tenses change.
Mm-hmm.
Is becomes was, and does becomes did. And so I thought, well, one day in the future, when Norm MacDonald was, that will be what's left, is a page on Wikipedia. So I said, I want to tell my own side of the story, and not just a series of facts, which I suppose is what a person's life is a series of facts.
Well, based on a true story, when we see that at the beginning of a movie, we know a lot of license has been taken.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think, though, if you base something on it's not really based on a true story. It's based on facts, but it is true. That's how I would say it.
How would you describe your writing style here? Are you using the truth as a stepping up point for some rather elaborate storytelling? And how does this kind of writing differ, or is it the same as what you do when you're doing a stand-up?
No, it's much different. I'm not an educated person, so I wish I was, because I would have been able to write the book. But I wrote 4 books. 4 attempts at this book. Not 4 drafts, but 4 entirely different books, until I came upon this one that I think works.
Well, you told the Washington Post.
Maybe doesn't. I don't know.
I can't imagine how anyone likes to write a blanking book. I couldn't hate it more.
Yeah, I hated every moment of it.
Through much
I liked writing the end. Those 2 words.
Through much of the book, you drink and do a lot of drugs and gamble. And
yes.
Are those things that you do on a
I don't do them
day-to-day
now.
life?
No, sir. I don't do any of them, but I did do them. Yes, I did do them a great deal. I didn't enter show business until late in life, and before that, I was a sort of a criminal. I had criminal. Yeah, I was a criminal, I suppose.
You engage in illegal activities?
Yes, sir. I did.
Wow. Like what?
I would sell drugs. I would break and enter. Anything to...
Statute of limitations,
anything to survive. I was just trying to survive. I had no money, and I was only 14 or 15 when I left home. So
this is in Canada.
This is in Canada. So you do what you have to do, and it's not immoral. There's nothing immoral about it. But I remember we would steal electric typewriters. This is how long ago it was. And we would smash the window, and the alarm would go off, and we'd grab electric typewriters. And we used a cab. The cab driver would be involved, and then we would drive to an Indian reservation where the police were not allowed to enter, and that's where we would put all the goods that we had stolen.
Would they go to a fence?
Yes, exactly.
You also mentioned gambling. What does it feel like to lose your net worth, something you say that you've done twice in your life?
Yes, it feels very good.
It feels good to lose everything?
Yeah, you go to the coffee shop and you have a coffee and you feel fresh and you feel like, hey, I'm going to start over. I can do it again.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always wondered about the appeal of gambling, because the little bit of gambling I've done, okay, sometimes I made a couple of bucks, sometimes I didn't, but it doesn't really. I don't understand the addictive quality.
I guess what you're addicted to is hope, which is not such a bad thing according to our president. So when the dice are in the air, anything can happen, and then hits the cruel green felt, and sometimes you bust.
You, along with so many comedians of your generation, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, Martin Short, Catherine O'Hara, John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, Seth Rogen, Phil Hartman, Eugene Levy, Samantha Bee, are all from Canada. Mm-hmm. Is there something about Canada that produces all those funny people?
No, I don't think so. I think it's probably, we have 10% population of North America without Mexico, whatever that's called. So we have 10% population of what the United States has. So I would say it's probably, you mentioned 10 guys, I could probably mention 100 Americans.
Really? Well, but those are some of our favorites. And
they're my favorites. Yeah.
Your
Martin
father
Short
was a bit of a raconteur.
Incredible.
Did you think you got some of your comedic influences from him?
Yeah. Well, we lived a rather bleak existence when I was young. We lived on a farm that was sort of obsolete and was just barren, rocky soil. So. And there was all those old men around, and but they were always happy and funny, even though even though their existence seemed bleak. That's why I was so attracted to Russian literature, because I saw all the people I knew in those books, you know.
Like, I mean, we're talking about Shmedyadkov or Raskolnikov?
Like just Gogol and
the absurd guys.
The absurd, yes.
My guest is Norm MacDonald, who's written a book called Based on a True Story, a memoir. You spent 5 seasons on the cast of Saturday Night Live in the 1990s.
Yes, sir.
How did you secure a tryout on the show, given the fact that your background was stand-up comedy, not sketch comedy?
Well, I was working on a show called Roseanne with Roseanne Barr, and I talked to the head writer of Saturday Night Live who liked me. You know, he phoned me up and he liked me, and so he gave me the job. And so I went to Roseanne and I quit, and I came to New York. And then they told me, you're meeting with Lawrence tomorrow. And I'm like, what's that for? And they go, well, that's the audition, you know, you have to audition. So I'd already quit my job. I thought I had the job. That was what I was told, that this was just a mere formality to meet Lauren. And then it turns out it's an audition. So I go in and he goes, you know, I'd like to, you know, you have to do 2 impressions. We have to go to the studio, you have to do 2 impressions, 2 characters. Everyone has to do it. And I said, I got to go home because I can't do that.
I don't do impressions.
I don't do impressions, and I don't do characters. And I think he got a kick out of me or something. You know, Lauren was always with me. He always thought I was just a big moron.
Well, he let you do the news. You're best known as the host of Weekend Update, or as you call it, the fake news. Did you do most of the writing for that, or was that something that was
I did most,
collaborated?
But it was collaborative, but... I kind of set the tone, you know, and I tried to make the jokes different than other jokes, and we all tried to experiment. You know, there was 3 of us, and we tried to experiment with comedy and the way that you tell a joke. And my idea was to strip bare all innuendo and all cuteness, and you know, just leave the bare bone of the joke. And if it didn't work, then it wasn't a good joke to begin with. But if it just relied on tricks.
Were there certain stories that were off limits?
Oh, yes. You know, people always ask me, because I do stand-up, you know, is anything off limits? And I hear comics go, nothing's off limits. And I think almost everything's off limits for me.
And you learned, of course, that the O.J. story might have been considered off limits. You were doing this during the time of the O.J. trial, and you got a lot of humor out of that. But
well, yeah.
How and when were you aware that NBC President Don Ohlmeyer was a good friend of O.J.'s?
I found that very strange. Well, listen, I admire that he stood by him. You know, he stood by his friend. But the jokes I did about O.J. were filled with moral outrage and righteous indignation, because I didn't like him.
You didn't like him as a person? You knew him?
No, sir, I didn't. I didn't like. I don't like murderers, and I was convinced he was guilty, even though he was, you know, innocent, as it turned out.
Well, he was found not guilty. It's not the same thing.
Listen, I don't think it's
many
fair.
people believe that he was a murderer.
I don't think it's fair that he was given 40 years for stealing his own shirt. You know what I mean? I don't think that was fair. That he was obviously found guilty of the previous crime.
But do you think you were let go, as some do, because of the O.J. jokes?
I don't know.
David Letterman said of you, there may be people as funny as Norm, but I don't know anybody who is funnier. And if we could have, we would have had Norm on every damn week. You had obviously a very special relationship with him, and you performed the final stand-up set on his last year.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was the last. It was the last stand-up set, and everyone was being very cool with Letterman, very ironic, and that's not how I felt about it. You know, as it came to an end, because he was such an important person in my life, and I feel he was a very important person in culture, I think he changed the way everybody thought and spoke, you know. And so he was very important to me. And I just watched it and saw everybody be cool. And I was not cool about it. I was very sad that he was leaving.
You got very emotional. Well,
I did.
You followed Donald Trump on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon last
Yes,
week.
I
One of the
did.
more controversial interviews with Donald Trump.
You know, when I saw it, I didn't think it was controversial. I mean, goodness gracious, it's Jimmy Fallon. He's maybe he blew his chance to be host of Meet the Press, but it's Jimmy Fallon.
Maybe he'll get Matt Lauer's job.
That's right. Oh yeah, it's Jimmy Fallon. What do you expect? I mean, that's why Donald Trump did it. But I will say this: when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my God, Donald Trump is being very reasonable and measured. This is getting a little frightening. Like maybe he can pivot. I don't know."
You've had your own television series, which lasted 3 seasons. You co-wrote and starred in a feature film. You've done voiceovers, had a short-lived sports show, a podcast, and even played Colonel Sanders in KFC commercials. Yet you remain somewhat a cult personality. How does that sit with you?
Well, all that stuff is that you mentioned is pretty subpar nonsense. All I really do is stand-up comedy. You know, that's what I'm good at, and everything else came from stand-up comedy just as an accident. But I'm very, very good at stand-up comedy, and the rest is just free money.
How much does the act change show by show?
My act?
Yeah, but for example, Lenny Bruce, it was always different. On the other hand, George Carlin wrote out an act, and he would revise it a bit over the course of a year. But
he was very precise, George Carlin. His word for
even the
word.
uhs and the wells were written in.
Yeah, he was amazing. But no, my act's almost always different. I have so much material because I don't do specials. You know, I mean, I'm doing a special in a month. I shouldn't say that, but I don't do as many specials as everybody else. So I would say I have about 10 hours of material, and most people don't. So I just mix it up, you know. Sometimes I will talk to the audience, and whatever they say, I will talk about whatever they say, because I have a material.
Improv.
I have material on almost. It's not improv, no. It's I have material on nearly every subject.
Comedy Central's president, Kent Alterman, described your absence from the airwaves as one of the great injustices of the world.
Yeah,
but he could give
if
you
only
a
he
show.
knew somebody.
Has there been talk about Comedy Central?
I don't know. I haven't been home since then. I've been on the road. But yeah, I read that. It was funny.
Well, considering what you've said about writing this memoir, can I assume that one of the things you won't be doing in the future is writing more books?
I'll probably write more books, yeah.
You will write more books?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, as much as I hate it, I feel compelled to do it. I can't explain it. But once I started writing a book, I knew that's what I should be doing. And I always thought I should be doing stand-up. And once I started writing a book, I realized I should be writing a book.
But writing funny in a book is different than writing funny for stand-up, because in stand-up, there's the tone of your voice, there's body language.
Yes.
Here, you just have to make people laugh because of the words that you've used.
It's almost impossible. Like if you go to a library, the last place you want to be is the humor section. You know, good Lord, it's awful. And in the history of America, you know, who has there been? You know, Mark Twain,
Will Rogers.
What's the other fellow's name?
Well, there have been
Josh. Can't remember his last name. But this was long ago. But modern, you know, humorists would be like Irma Bombeck and this kind of garbage.
Well, there have been some funny ones too, but
who's that?
Well, we'll talk during the break, because I have to announce that you'll be speaking with Vulture editor David Marquez. Is it Marquez?
Yes.
Tonight at the Union Square Barnes & Noble store at 7 o'clock.
Yes,
the book is based on a true story, a memoir. It is published by Spiegel and Grau. And my great thanks to Norm MacDonald for being our guest today.
You're a scholar and a gentleman, sir. I appreciate it.
Hey folks, how's it going? I'm Josh.
I'm Taylor.
Gonna be reacting to what, young lady?
Norm MacDonald loses his sponsors.
A lot of people have been asking for this, so we're gonna hop into it. And I've been itching for some more Norm anyway. Definitely have been. So let's hop right into it. Did I get this?
Well, we also have to take a break.
Are you kidding me?
It says it right on the monitor.
We have no sponsors.
Oh, we do have a sponsor, right?
You know what's amazing that I didn't know?
We have no sponsors.
That my dad used to call him Take a Shave. Take a shave. He'd get mad at me. But anyway,
why didn't you shave?
But it's a fantastic.
Why didn't you shave?
I didn't shave because I wanted to do this commercial and show, you know.
Or do you like that look?
Well, who would like this look? I want you to sign up for Dollar Shave Club by going to dollarshaveclub.com/Norm. You will get high quality razors sent to your door.
That's not, come on.
It's a little frightening.
I wouldn't mind it. Do you ever run out of razors and you're like, damn it?
Yeah,
you can't run out to the store.
Yeah, well, you
with a
don't have to
beard.
here because you get high quality razors sent to your door every month, and it's for a fraction of what you pay retail.
That's even better.
Also makes a
I like
great
it.
gift for Father's Day. Is your father still alive?
No.
God damn,
Thanks
that's
a lot.
2 out of 3. He's dead too?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, this Father's Day, your father's dead. But you have children. You are a father.
Yes, and I'm not dead.
Yes. Is your mom still alive?
My mom?
Yeah.
No, she's dead.
Jesus Christ, is any of your relatives fucking alive?
Doesn't need my kids.
Well, listen, man, Oh, this is about your aunt.
My aunt?
Is she fucking dead?
Yes.
You don't have a living aunt?
Maybe.
Adam Egan, do you use the Dollar Shave Club?
No. I mean, not today.
Yeah, look at it. You go to dollarshave.com.
Well, it's perfect for me.
I don't
Do you want to know how to get there?
Yes.
You go to dollarshave.com/Norm. That's dollarshave.com.
Dollar Shave Club.
Gotcha.
Is it $1 a day for one razor?
No.
I don't know why they call it Dollar Shave.
Huh?
$1 a month?
Listen, man, I can't answer every question.
It's called Dollar Shave Club.
Yes, that means it costs you $1 over the course of your lifetime. For $1 a month, have all your shaving needs met? I mean, on your face?
Well, you can use it for anything.
Well, that's true.
Do I have to only use it on my face?
No, they have no rules here.
Then yeah.
Of course, they have no rules. They send fucking razors to your house.
One more real quick.
You want to
$1 per month? And
Yeah.
you get
$1
like
per
as
month.
many razors. That's kind of a good deal.
Yeah, kind of. That's
do
like, for the whole year, that's like $14.
They can't be
Volume.
They can't be high quality razors for
Well,
$1 a month.
They're the highest quality razors in the world. You can slit your life through.
It's somewhere in between.
Huh?
I think it's somewhere in between.
It says high quality.
Well, it's definitely high quality.
It's high quality razors sent to your door.
It says high quality razor.
Every month. You would be crazy not to have high quality razors sent to your house every day. And we're going to read jokes. We read jokes.
I thought you were going to talk about this thing.
We're going to talk about the man. What about the man grate?
Is that like a genital cleanser?
No! Oh my God! What is the man grate, you ask?
Okay.
Huh?
Fine. I didn't, but
You didn't. It is 100% made in America. Cast iron grilling grates.
Iron. You don't pronounce it iron.
That's what everybody
The iron horse, like Lou Gehrig was the iron horse of baseball.
Yes.
The word IRON is iron. No, iron.
Cast iron.
iron.
Cast iron grilling grates that are
Are you kidding when you say iron?
You know what? Don't be like fucking Larry King. That motherfucker, I say iron and he's up my asshole for fucking 4 days.
That's what makes English the world's toughest language.
Yeah.
Right, sure.
It is the
Because
toughest
language
To
to
me,
learn.
it's the easiest. Man grate. Have you heard of the man grate?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear about it?
On Adam Carolla's podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Do you have a father? Man grate is the perfect gift for this Father's Day. Is he alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% made in America. If he was dead, it would have been a really bad moment in the commercial. Your dad's alive?
No.
Fuck. God damn it. I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
Your father's dead.
He's butchering these sponsorships.
But you have children. You are a father.
Yes, and I'm not dead.
Yes.
Maybe you'll give me one. And
I'll give you one. Is your mom still alive?
My mom?
Yeah.
No, she's dead.
Jesus Christ. Is any of your relatives fucking alive? It's man grace.
Oh, no.
They're revolutionizing the way people grill. What, Adam Egan? It's true. You haven't heard of the revolution? You can put chicken on this or steak. That's not that unique. It has heavy duty grilling grates.
You should pay him double.
You're laughing. You think the grilling grates are flimsy?
These are very heavy.
Yes, no, but that's part of the charm. It weighs a lot of pounds.
Is that heavy?
Yeah. Listen, man, what was that fucking Vegas story?
Jesus Christ. Sorry. What is in that?
Again. It's revolutionizing the way people grill.
Jesus.
What?
I thought it was like a, all right.
You want to hear what it has?
Yeah.
It has heavy-duty grilling grates. Listen. No more dry meat. What do you think of that?
You want your meat juicy.
Oh, come on now. Don't make it sound like a fucking fat, plumpy, delicious cock. No more flare-ups? You know, in your barbecues, all those big flare-ups? It was named one of 2012's best grilling accessories. There's more fucking facts about the man grate than about Nick. Why are you laughing? You're making a mockery out of the man grate. Chicken, steak, has never tasted so good. Hey, how about this? Each NORM MACDONALD show order comes with a heavy-duty grilling brush.
Jesus.
You don't want to put that on your not dry meat?
Look at that. Those things are dirty.
No.
That's from the iron.
Are you sure?
Yes. Well, it's not from my cock. What? I just went to the bathroom. You say cock so much.
I'm coming in your butt.
Oh my God. Well, listen, man. Hey,
your mouth is my toilet.
Again. This commercial is like a mini-series. Are you a jingoist? 100% made in America. 100% cast iron. Mangrove.com. Thank you, Andy. That's yours. You just threw your own going away present with contempt to the floor. That was our only sponsor.
Oh, yeah, and you push.
Yeah, now we found out we lost Man Great as a sponsor. And earlier today, I think we were told legally we can't say we lost them as a sponsor even.
Yeah, I think we were still waiting to find out if we were allowed to say that.
But anyways,
fuck
that
it,
was
who cares?
Schwartzen.
We lost them.
That was Nick Schwartzen that fucked it all up.
When he's like clearly saying it's not a good product and stuff.
Oh shit! It was Nick Swartzen that fucked it up. Oh no, that was great. That was fantastic. And dude's such
He
a
is
fool.
so crazy.
Oh man, they didn't pay him double because it actually makes me want to get the product now. Just
Right.
That was stupid.
I'm taking it away.
Oh no.
He's goofy.
Oh no. That was fantastic, man.
That
That
was
was
so
awesome.
funny.
That was fantastic. I love it. This dude's out of his mind. That was just the best.
I like the way he laughs because he like knows he's being dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he knows he's being goofy. It is extra wide grilling plates, and then he starts laughing.
I just hate when things start flaring up. It makes you not flare up. Oh no! I love how Larry King was trying to teach you how to say iron.
Iron. Oh yeah. He's like, it's iron, not iron.
Not iron. She brought him this, and Larry King was up my ass from 14. Oh no! Oh, that was fantastic. Oh my god. I miss reacting to Norm. Oh my god.
Funny. I like him a lot.
I try to like balance it. We try to balance out when we do reactions on here. And I do the same people, but you don't know how much I itch just to watch more Norm, but I don't want to ruin our genuine reactions, or I know I would just binge right through his stuff. Man. Yeah. That was great. Oh Jesus, that was great. That was fantastic. Dude has my eyes worn. That was fantastic. Hilarious. Oh, Norm. Oh no, that was great.
He's crazy.
Shoot, man. All right, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Really appreciate all the recommendations. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. Kind of help us get there. We greatly appreciate it by letting other people know. And at 5,000, we're thinking about doing a live stream.
Yeah.
We're talking about that. So it might not be right at 5,000, but when we hit 5,000,
like
we get like a off day. We're gonna do a live stream, like a Q&A or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next one. Later.
Bye.
He has this quality that's very important about him, and I think that's the main thing about him. He has this quality that many people or some people have, and you meet these people sometime in your life. That people who are just funny because they are funny.
Hi everyone.
Hello guys.
I'm Veronica.
And I'm Valdemar.
And today we are watching...
I think we need to start with this. Today we are watching. Think about some different introduction. No.
On the spot?
Yeah. In today's video, the discussed video will be Norm MacDonald on drinking and diseases.
How is that better than mine?
Huh?
How is that better than mine?
Because it was mine. So it makes it better.
Okay, so I think it's the bit that you guys recommended as... I hope it is the bit that you guys recommended as the one about alcoholism. I saw this video used by other reaction channels and called then alcoholism, so I think it is this one. I had some trouble finding the actual clip on YouTube because most of them are taken off when I was trying to trace it back. I don't know why, but from this stand-up a lot is erased. The same with the 12-minute joke that you guys recommended. There is a clip on YouTube, I think it's called Janice, something like that. But it's, I'm just asking because you saw it last time and you said it's too bad of a quality. Like
yeah, but we haven't watched.
Yeah, we just saw the beginning, like I mean just the still of the clip. And I think this one isn't going to be an insanely good quality either. I hope the sound is fine, but
what's important is the quality of comedy.
Yes, exactly.
The quality of comedy must be on par.
That's beautiful, so let's just start, because that was nice segue.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that one, neither me or Veronica.
No, not at all.
Is booze only vodka, or is it, or you can call it booze?
No, booze is all kinds of alcohol. It's like when you see on party invitations, B-Y-O-Y, bring your own booze. So just bring your own alcohol.
But beer can be a booze too?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Or only strong alcohols?
No, beer too.
Yeah?
I mean, at least when I was studying in Scotland, we called beer booze as well.
Alright.
But I don't know.
First time watching his stand-up, and it sounds like if you just had like talking points written up, like I will be talking about this, yeah, I will mention my uncle, and the rest I will improvise. That's how it looks like.
He also seems like he's having like a really good time as well, which I think adds like some charm to it. It's nice to listen to him.
Yeah.
He's definitely having a good time saying this. Everything he said so far that we've seen was very family friendly. I mean, maybe not family friendly, but teenager friendly. That level. I mean, this is already controversial what he's saying, but punching a newborn was not something I was prepared to hear from him. Okay.
It's States, because I know we have some people watching us from the United States.
Oh, a lot.
How is it exactly with the drinking and driving in the US? Because in Europe, it's like technically you can drink very little and then you can drive, but practically it is so little that no one do that.
It depends on the country. I think in the UK as well, and in some other countries you can have like one beer. So if you come out with your friends, you could have 2 half pints throughout the evening.
It's very difficult to
know how your metabolism is.
Yeah, exactly, because like one beer for me is different than one beer for Veronica, and the amount of alcohol in our blood would
it
be
depends
much
if
different.
it's hot, how much you ate, how much good seafood you ate, and everything.
Yeah, but I wonder because like I would never been in the US, but I watch some movies or some TV shows, and very often there is like a character or characters or group of people, and they will go drinking, and then they are like, okay, and they go all home. And in the US, it's not like here in Europe that you have, trams and trains and public buses that you can go almost
Well, I guess in
everywhere.
big cities, but not in the small towns where the action of these movies often happens.
Yeah, but I like, for example, I know in the office there were like a couple of that, couple of instances, and I always wondered about it. Like I was like, okay, Michael would do that probably, but you have all the characters. They're like, oh, we'll go just for a couple of drinks, and then they all go in the car, and
True.
or like you're watching the movies or shows about lawyers, and they have a meeting in the late afternoon or sometime during the day, and they will have like a glass of whiskey, and they will just after work they will go in the car and drive home. So if you can tell me how exactly does it look like?
Yeah, what are the rules?
Yeah, I know that you have those weird tests. I don't know why. I don't know what's doing.
Oh yeah, and you have to like walk in a straight line.
Yeah,
instead of just blowing.
nose.
I don't know.
Say alphabet backwards.
Because in Europe you just blow into the device and it shows you how much you have in your blood, and it doesn't matter if you are still able to do the eagle thing.
Yeah.
While you're completely hammered, and then they're like, "Oh, but you can do the eagle thing. That's fine. So you can drive." Yeah, and you're drank like half a bottle of vodka, but you just, I don't know, you happen to be some kind of gymnast, yeah. And your sense of balance is very good. I don't know. Okay, but what did you, before we forget?
Or you buy yourself like a shoe that Michael Jackson had, like the anti-gravity shoes. And you have a shoe like that, and you're like, no problem, officer.
Yeah, if you could also write us what's the point of this test, then I would be... Because if you are surpassed a certain limit, then what this test can save you?
I don't know if it's not something with about the freedom that they cannot force you to take a test.
Maybe.
Or the blowing, but somehow they can make you...
They can make you behave like an idiot and go like ahead. I don't know.
Like, that's the worst. Like, the alphabet thing scares me, because I would be sober as a child, and they would say alphabet backwards. I'm like, oh fuck. Not in any language I would be able to do that.
And then you have to like sing to yourself but backwards.
Yeah.
Like A B C D D C A. And I said it wrong even now because I forget to say D C A B.
You are drunk.
Okay, but before we forget, did you like the video?
Yes.
How would you describe his style of comedy?
I don't know if it's a style.
I would describe it as painful.
I think it's just the style of his own.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know.
He has this quality that's very important about him, and I think that's the main thing about him. He has this quality that many people, or some people have, and you meet these people sometime in your life. That people who are just funny because they are funny, and it's not like they have a joke for every occasion, or they know many jokes, or they're like so sarcastic. It's just like with Rowan Atkinson, he's just funny because he's Rowan Atkinson and he has this face, and I think it's the same with him. He's just funny, and he's most funny when he doesn't try to be funny.
Yeah, but I was conscious of like my body language, and I think I was watching him for a moment, and then I kept going like...
Yeah.
I couldn't stop doing that, and I feel like if I was in the audience of the show and it took like an hour and a half, and I was like, walk out half blind because they're just like all the time. Because like he keeps saying something, and then he also does this transition where he doesn't say like or make a pause, but he just goes like and then he says something else, and then he says something else.
How do you call this person? A stenograph? Who is in court and he writes everything down?
Oh yeah, I know what you like with in shorthand, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I think stenograph. Or yeah. So like if you had a George Carlin show, for example, then after the end of the special, if you would put in a book everything that he said, you would have maybe not a book, but a decent newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with this Norm guy, when you would like try to summary what he said in this video, it would be like, I don't know, like a stick note. Like that's all he said.
That's all he said, and the rest was just the delivery.
But he dragged it so much, and this dragging was what makes it funny.
It's part of the funny. Yeah, it was funny, and it's funny. It was funny when he was adding these little details, like I don't know, at that part when he was saying someone would repeat what the guy in the anonymous group would say. And then he added like, oh, and his name was Richie K, you know, like these small little things that you're like, okay. But it's funny. It's kind of like with the more structured jokes delivery when you have to wait for the punchline, but here is just like the whole experience. But I don't know how I would feel if I had to watch an hour and a half. I would be exhausted by the end. I mean, funny, but still exhausted. Yeah. But see, with George Carlin, if you had someone else deliver it, because it's written really well, it probably wouldn't be that good because he's also a good actor, but you can read his book and it's still nice. You can basically read what he's saying. But these jokes, if it wasn't delivered that well, I don't think they would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the main thing about this guy is that he is funny as a person, and I don't think it matters that much what he is saying. I think that's why he is so funny when he's on those shows, like Conan show or the other late night shows, and he is one of the most famous guests, like one of the most cherished guests, because of this exact quality that he is funny no matter the circumstances, no matter what he is saying. It's just you sit him down, you gave him a topic, you listen to the guy, and you have a viral video. Yeah. Well, great.
Thank you for watching and thank you for recommending.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.